So, what are the differences between the two? The differences between the two are that the WTA take back is more circular in terms of what the racket head does. ATP take back is more triangular. I know it's hard to believe, but the tip of the racket, the ATP forehand, when you take it back, it has a triangular path versus the circular path of the WTA forehand. Back to in this direction again. So WTA, they both have pretty much the same stance, at racket elevated out in front because they don't know whether they're going to get a forehand or backhand. But with the WTA, even though they got the wrist cocked back to elevate it, they take the racket up almost over the head, in some cases over the head, with the wrist stays cocked back, take it up over the head, take it down like this to here, and that should look familiar. That's exactly what I tell you to do. If you take the racket back so that you can swing to contact without rotating the wrist to get a vertical rising racket. So that's basically it. Cock the wrist back, take it up and over your head like this, drop it down like this, and then swing forward. Problems you might have doing this is that if, like me, you've been hitting the same way for 50 years, and you take the racket back and you drop it on edge, right, like this, then you're not doing it right. If you watch carefully, notice if I do this, I'm closing the racket face, whereas if I do this, I'm not. You have to keep from you have to close the racket face. So how do you do that? One more bit of terminology. There's something called pronation and there's something called supination. Prone is lying face down. Supine is lying face up. In regards to tennis stroke, you talk in terms of what the hand does. The hand has a back and a palm. I'm not calling the palm the face, because certainly the back of the hand is not the face. So here's your face. So you face up to face down. That's pronation. Going from supine to prone, you're pronating it. You're making the palm prone. Supination is the opposite, going from face down to face up. You're going from prone to supine. You're supinating. In terms of how do you know what you're doing, you look at the direction the wrist is rotation. Pronation is rotating the wrist this way, which is what you would do if you're unscrewing a light bulb or unscrewing a screw. Supination is rotating the wrist the opposite way. Screwing in a light bulb, screwing in a screw. If you take the racket back like this, take it up and over, and you drop the racket down on edge, notice the direction my wrist is rotating. I'm supinating. I've been doing that for 50 years, and I've worked on it like 5 years without being able to solve the supination problem. I do a perfect practice swing, and then when I actually go to hit the ball, I just drop it down on edge. I've been doing that. I did that for 5 years before I finally cracked the nut on how to fix it. Now, why do I say that's supinate? Why do I say that you have to kind of pronate to get back there? Well, let's say I take this and I drop it down like I naturally do. How do I get it to be closed off? How do I tip it face down? I do this. What rotation is that? That's this rotation. That's pronation. So as you take the racket up and over, you pronate as you drop the racket down. Same thing is true of the ATP forehand. That sort of sums up the WTA take back. ATP take back, as I said, is triangular. Take it up like this. So take it up like this. The racket is sort of tilted forward a little bit and facing the net. And as you continue to go around, you drop the racket down in a straight line in this direction, like that, and then you end up with the same thing for the swing to contact. Close racket face, swing to contact. Let me do it again. Take it up linearly, straight line up, drop it down in a straight line, and then you got that.